Welcome to Tiger Tracks, your home for the best of LSU athletics. And now your hosts, Jordy Hultberg and Bill Frankes.
Tiger fans, how are you? You're happy, aren't you? Tigers undefeated, 6 up, 6 down, 5th in the country, and Western Kentucky coming to town. I'm Jordy Hultberg. This is Bill Frankes, and what a weekend it was. Saturday night, it was at its finest.
It really was.
Against the Gators.
Boy, it really was. Just an electric atmosphere, yes. and a classic SEC game, a classic Les Miles type of game.
The man Hatter did it
Exactly.
again. What is it about Florida?
Right.
He always does it against the Gators.
Yeah, you think of the Brad Wing punt return, fake punt for a touchdown, the fake punt back in 2010. Yeah, the five fourth down conversions back in 07.
Say
yeah,
that fast.
So,
4
yeah,
times.
so, the Tigers did it again. Just a tremendous effort. Got out to the 14-point lead at halftime. Brandon Harris had a great game throwing the ball.
Best game as a Tiger.
And of course, Leonard Fournette only 180 yards.
Only $180 against the, wouldn't be hard to stop.
And the defense was excellent. The defense totally shut down Florida's running game.
Lewis Neal was everywhere.
Yeah, Lewis with 3 sacks on the night. Florida had only about 50 yards rushing, made them one-dimensional. The Tigers get a big 7-point victory. And now, look ahead to Western Kentucky. It should be a challenge this weekend in Tiger Stadium. The Hilltoppers, 6-1 with one of the nation's best passers.
Lost to Indiana 38-35 was their only loss of the year. So we'll have a preview of that. Jeff Brown will join us. Men's tennis, new facility. It's beautiful. We'll get a preview of that. And we'll talk LSU basketball. They had about 65 NBA scouts watching a couple of practices. We'll talk about that as well. It's all coming your way next on Tiger Tracks. We are back on Tiger Tracks. Bill Frankes, I'm Jordy Hultberg. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers come to town with the 9th best total offense in the country, 6th best scoring offense in the country, and the 3rd best passing offense in the country. They like to throw it around a lot.
Absolutely. Brandon Dowdy is regarded as one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. He came back for a 6th year of eligibility. His coach, Jeff Brom, is a former NFL quarterback, so they know how to throw it around. Should be an interesting evening in Tiger Stadium, 6 o'clock kickoff on ESPNU. Garrett Woolward files this preview of LSU Western Kentucky.
It's homecoming, a chance to return to campus, talk with old friends, and watch LSU in action. And with a thrilling win against Florida in the books, the Tigers vault into the top 5 the week before Western Kentucky comes to town. LSU is the only undefeated school in the Southeastern Conference and one of just 14 teams that remain perfect across the country. Head coach Les Miles knows that Western Kentucky poses a unique challenge.
This is a very good football team. All you have to do is watch film. They're good in offense, defense, and special teams. I voted for them to be in the top 25 if anybody asks. Their quarterback, Brandon Doherty, every bit an SEC quarterback, big, talented, strong, smart quarterback, big arm. You watch the film, he'll get your attention.
The LSU defense racked up 5 sacks against the Gators, highlighted by Lewis Neal's 3 stops behind the line of scrimmage. Neal now has 7 sacks and is just 5 shy of tying the school record of 12 set over 25 years ago by Oliver Lawrence. Sophomore receiver Malachi Dupree hauled in 4 catches for a team-leading 115 yards and 2 touchdowns against Florida. The New Orleans native now has 4 touchdowns, 1 shy of matching his season total from last year. On special teams, former walk-on kicker Trent Domain scored the game-winning touchdown on a brilliantly executed fake field goal, catching a lateral from Brad Cragthorpe and sprinting 16 yards into the south end zone. The Tigers will take their momentum from beating Florida and direct it at a talented Western Kentucky team.
You know, it feels good to make a difference, but it's time to refocus back on Western Kentucky and obviously refocus on my job in kicking and not always scoring touchdowns, because that might not happen again this year. So just time to refocus. You know, it was a fun Sunday, you know, having the recognition, but it's time to, you know, get back to practice.
Yeah, we understand they're another tough opponent coming in. We don't take anybody lightly. We're going to prepare for each team exactly the same as we do every week. And obviously they can score a lot of points, they can throw the ball really well, and we're just going to have to watch film and develop a good game plan to try to beat those guys. And I think everyone on our team is going to bring in their best week of work this week and just really try to improve on our team.
You know, I have a lot of confidence in myself. Brandon has, you know, a lot of confidence in himself. You know, he's been doing a great job this year. You know, not many quarterbacks in the country can say they're 6-0 right now, and he's one of them. And yeah, I mean, it's nice to, you know, kind of, you know, have your coach have that kind of confidence in you to where he thinks that you're going to be able to go out there and execute the play.
Western Kentucky has already beaten one SEC school this season, outlasting Vanderbilt in Nashville 14-12. The Hilltoppers are led by 6-year senior quarterback Brendan Dowdy, a 6'3", 220-pounder. Dowdy led the nation with 4,800 passing yards and 49 touchdowns last season, earning the most valuable player in Conference USA as well as the Sammy Baugh Award. Dowdy is one of 6 redshirt seniors who were on the team the last time LSU played Western Kentucky in 2011. The Tigers won that game 42-9, but the Hilltoppers have left the Sun Belt and become one of the top offenses in the nation. Western Kentucky can also run the ball, boasting 5 years in a row with a player over 1,500 yards on the ground. The Hilltoppers are also familiar with the SEC, playing LSU, Tennessee, Alabama, and Kentucky over the last 4 seasons. Western Kentucky is bowl eligible for the 5th time in the last 7 years since joining Division I in 2009. LSU's defense is tasked with stopping a Hilltopper attack that averages 44 points a game. But the largest crowd Western Kentucky's played in front of this year was 44,000 at Indiana. Saturday night, 6 p.m. in Death Valley, kickoff should be deafening. We'll see you at the game. Reporting for Tiger Tracks, I'm Garrett Walbert.
Thank you, Garrett, very much. Again, 6 o'clock ESPNU. And the best thing, you got to win this one because then you have an open date. Yeah. Nothing worse going in an open date off a loss, so don't expect that.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that at all. But Western Kentucky, obviously a very capable team, but you could tell in talking to Coach Miles and the players this week, they're aware of Western Kentucky's ability, and they'll be ready to go and looking forward to that open week.
All right, we'll take a quick time out here. When we come back, Jeff Brown will join us in studio talking about the new tennis complex and his new tennis team. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tiger Tracks here on CST. Boy, I tell you what, you go to the new Alec Box Stadium, you look a little bit over to across the street, you'll see a brand new facility, and it is fabulous. In his 19th season as the head coach of the LSU men's tennis team, Mr. Jeff Brown joining us. And Jeff, look at that smile on your face. How do you like the new digs?
Yeah, it's it's great. It's everything that we wanted. We had a lot of input into the how it was done, but to ultimately get it funded and to get it built is just a dream come true, and it represents so many years of thinking about it and different people wanting it, and now it's there.
Give us the Cliff Notes version. Indoor courts, how many? Outdoor courts, how many?
Yeah, when you walk into the lobby, really nice lobby that's going to have some great graphics. It's already done really well with the layout, but we have offices in the front there, and it leads down to a hallway that has 6 indoor courts that are spaced really well apart. We won't have as many do-over lets because of the ball rolling on the courts. Great down the hallway, cardio rooms, training rooms. Visitors' locker rooms, men's and women's locker room, coaches' locker rooms. It's got everything you can think of, to host, obviously our events primarily, but then the outdoor courts. There's 12 courts, which is 2 banks of 6, which are identical to each other. One will be utilized primarily for the competitions when there's just one match. It's got a press box that overlooks it for, you guys that might need to stay warm or whatever. But it's a really nice. The lighting is unbelievable. The first-class lighting. The sound system, which we don't use as often during matches, but it's nice to have at practices when you can tell you have a little emotional lull on a day, you crank it up a bit. But it's the layout's really nice. There's space all around the courts, that we could add to for major events. If we needed to add seating or if we needed to add VIP areas for tournaments. Great.
That's awesome.
Jeff, just tell us how significant this is for your program and for the women's tennis program to have the indoor facility and what it means to the future success of your programs.
Well, yeah, I mean, it starts with everybody's program, starts with recruiting, and what those kids see when they come on campus is a first-class facility. There may be some that are similar, but there's none that is really outstanding, that much better. It's one of the best, and that's what they're going to see, and that shows commitment. Everything else we have has been pretty first class. We've had a great support. We've had the coaching that we've been ultimately been one of the most dedicated staffs to kind of maintain us at the level we've been able to, even with the situation we were in facility wise. And the kids see that. They see that we have the total package from all the different the things that go on campus with the academic center and the strength and conditioning programs, all the different things, the nutrition center that's being built. So it's a total package now.
I remember playing summer league ball in the field house, and you'd bounce the ball and would take funny bounces. I can't imagine what it was like for tennis balls.
We used that for a bit, but it was slick. It was slick.
It was. But now new facility. Let's talk about the first event that's coming up. You get to christen it.
Right. We have a tournament that we're hosting. It's kind of called a hidden duel match. We play more of a team versus team format, but there's no team scoring kept. So we brought in teams from Princeton, Denver, Tulane, and Rice that will all kind of mix up. And actually, Texas A&M is going to add on to our numbers for the event, and we'll play against each other. And the guys get to play in front of our people in our new facility, and they're very proud of it as well. I mean, you can sense a different demeanor when the guys come to practice, and when when their parents come in, they're showing them, and when recruits are on campus, what they're doing.
In fact, that's just in 2 weeks, November 5th through the 8th, the weekend the football team's in Alabama. You guys will open the new facility, so it should be a fantastic event.
It will be. We're excited about it.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this LSU men's tennis team. New facilities, but you got to have players. Jeff's got them. We'll talk about that next here on Tiger Tracks. And we're coming
Tiger
to you
Tracks
on
on CST is being brought to you by Capital One Bank, the official bank of all things Louisiana, and by Louisiana Propane Dealers. Get up to $1,200 in rebates on propane accessories. Find out how at louisianapropane.com.
This is Tiger Tracks on CST alongside Bill Franquez. I'm Jordy Helperg. We continue our conversation with the head coach of the LSU men's tennis team in his 19th season, Jeff Brown. We've already talked about the new facilities. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to go out and watch your team play. You've had some play already, a couple of fall tournaments. So let's give us an update on how your team is.
Yeah, we had a lot of success early on in the fall to go along with all the excitement we have about the facility. In our first event, we were able to go out to the West Coast. Two of our guys qualified for a new event, Oracle Masters it's called. They bring in the top returning singles and doubles teams from the year prior. They won a couple matches, one of them being over the #1 ranked team in the nation from Georgia, so that kind of got us off to a good start.
Okay.
Then very next week, Jordan Daigle, our top player from last year and our top returning player from local Lafayette, went and won the Rolex Championship down in his hometown of Lafayette, which is a great event. But in that same event, we had one of our guys who had played like 6 and 7 for us last year, who had a great summer, came in and had 2 big ranked wins in the event. Simon Freund and Justin Butch, one of our returning players that had played 3 and 4, also had some ranked wins. Going on to the next week, All-Americans, we had the same kind of a thing where we had a couple guys with some ranked wins. And then last week at our regional event, we had the same thing. So we had success pretty much at every event, either in singles or doubles. Tam Trin and Justin Butch got to the semis, the regional doubles. So we've had guys, moving up. We lost 1 player off of last year's team, and we've replaced so far with 2. But it looks like we have 2 more that we have secured will play for us in January.
Okay, good.
Jeff, you've established at LSU, of course, a tremendous men's tennis tradition. In 16 of the past 18 years, you've been to the NCAA tournament. So there's a level of expectation. How do you feel like this team can meet that level of expectation?
Yeah, we feel these guys should do really well. We want to put expectations on them, but you want to temper them with, you don't want to put too much pressure on them. So they're very aware, having only lost 1 player, a team that was in the 25s to 30 last year, with everybody basically coming back, and with several good spots being filled with newcomers. I think they know what they're capable of, and we'll just keep it at that and just kind of go with it. But everything seems to be going the right direction. Recruiting has really been great, and this team seems to be really on board and buying in.
You've seen it all. You've been through it all as a player, as a coach. What does Jeff Brown look for in a recruit that he believes can play and contribute for LSU?
Yeah, I mean, you're always starting with the level. You're going to be attracted to somebody that, hey, this guy's ranked this in the world, this guy's ranked this in the nation. But then ultimately, you're really more attracted to somebody that you see compete and have that difference in attitude. That they're not going to go away if things just aren't going perfectly. And sometimes that's something that you may take a kid that's very highly ranked, and you have to develop a little more of that attitude. And some guys have it, and some guys can develop it, and some don't. But you'd like to start with a very, very successful player that has an unbelievable competitive attitude, and from there you're generally going to do well.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff, in 2 weeks, when you open the new facility with the LSU Invitational, it'll be a different atmosphere than what your guys are used to, because at the old place, the Dub Robinson Tennis Stadium, it had a lot of charm, and the crowd really got into the matches. So what kind of adjustment do you think there'll be there with the atmosphere?
Yeah, in the fall, you just don't know what you're going to get. You'd like to get a nice crowd out for your particular time frame, but everybody's got things that they're doing. But when it comes time for the dual matches, we fully expect to have the same numbers and the same energy. And I don't think that there should be nobody should be any different, in that regard. Our guys are going to give the same effort, and they're going to be, turning to the crowd, when things are going their way, and trying to get them to pull them up when they're not. So I don't really foresee anything different, other than there's nicer facilities and amenities for the fans.
Still the free pizza?
Well, we're going to work on that. We'd like to. So we hope that works out. We're going to.
Well, Jeff, long time coming, buddy. You deserve it. The team deserves it. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff Brown, the LSU men's tennis coach here on Tiger Tracks. We'll take a quick timeout. LSU basketball in front of the NBA scouts. We'll talk about that when we return.
Tiger Tracks on CST is being brought to you by Capital One Bank, the official bank of all things Louisiana, and by Louisiana Propane Dealers. Get up to $1,200 in rebates on propane accessories. Find out how at louisianapropane.com.
Welcome back to Tiger Tracks on CST. Bill Franquez, Jordy Helperg. We shift gears now to LSU basketball. SEC Media Days taking place in Charlotte. Ben Simmons already named the preseason Player of the Year. Tim Quarterman voted on the preseason second team. LSU basketball, a lot of star power on this club.
Absolutely. We can't wait for the start of the season. November 13th against McNeese State is the first game. Last week, NBA scouts were on campus to see the Tigers perform. Great opportunity for the basketball squad. Let's take a look as we hear from some of the scouts who saw the Tigers practice.
Exciting team. You got the veterans back, the guys, particularly the backcourt players, the guys that really, I think, big factor in last year's season, Quarterman and Hornsby, Jalen Patterson. And then you see the three-man recruiting class led by Ben Simmons, who I thought was really, really good today. He might have had 10 assists in the scrimmage. And then actually the improvement of the young big guys. Albert Robinson was impressive today. Craig Victor shows you that he'll be an energy guy when he's eligible in December. Darcy Malone hit a couple threes. So if I were Coach Jones, and he's been around these guys all summer and now into the fall, I would think it's another step forward because these kids played under the pressure of having almost every NBA team here today watching them. So a little bit different kind of pressure than normal.
We're here today at an organized workout, and this gives us an opportunity to see players up close in an organized environment. It's become a little bit more common now to have things set up in a kind of a combine manner, and I think we like it because we know we're going to see kids play hard and scrimmage as opposed to just going to a random practice. And the other thing that it does, it gives us opportunity to get together as scouts and front office executives to socialize, exchange ideas, and develop relationships. So I think that's a byproduct of an event like this, and I think these folks here have done a great job of welcoming us.
Well, the big thing is communication. These guys got to make sure that they're vocal. They got to make sure that they talk. But we can't leave it in our drill work. We can't leave it out there when we're just working on it. We got to make sure that we transition into when we play 5-on-5. That's the beauty of it. That's when we'll become a better basketball team as we continue to grow. And these guys are doing a good job. And it's just a matter of repetition. And I think you're going to catch on. And our post guys are doing a much better job of being vocal and talking right now.
Fran Fraschilla has seen a lot of basketball players. We saw Ben Simmons today, and nothing surprising. And it's just always in complete control. And you played, I played. We'd have loved to have played with him because he finds you.
We played three different positions for us today. He played in the post area. He went out on the wing for a while, finished up out there at the point, and has the ability, capability of running the team from many of those spots and allowing his team to execute. His team's able to feed off of it. But he's one of those guys that just make other people around him better. Tremendously unselfish basketball player, and we'll have an opportunity to play him in multiple positions this year, and I know that our team will certainly benefit from it.
I think it's great. I think, I've talked to the SEC basketball people, Mark Whitworth particularly. He's excited about the direction of SEC basketball. You look at the new coaches in the league coming in and exciting recruiting classes, and particularly here at LSU, you've got arguably the #1 player in next June's draft in Ben Simmons. Johnny is building this program step by step, getting it back to where it's been in the past. And I think to be on SEC Network is just one more feather in the cap of, this program and where they're heading.
We talked about these seats are empty right now, but in about a month, they're not going to be empty.
Well, that's because the doors are guarded today.
That's right.
If we'd open those doors, they would certainly be here, and we're looking forward to our fans having a chance to really get out, pack this place, and come see an exciting brand of basketball. Tremendous schedule we have this year with a great group of young men, and we can't wait to get started. Thank you very much, Fran Fraschilla, Matt Doherty, among some of that you listened to there. This LSU basketball team picked 4th by the SEC media in their preseason poll. And we'll see what happens, but a lot of good expectations, a lot of talent, a lot of guard play.
Absolutely. We had Coach Jones on the show last week. He talked about all those great guards, and he hopes to complement them with some excellent post play with Ben Simmons, and hopefully an emerging Albert Robinson will make a difference as well. Now, there's a rumor that you're going to be heading up north Louisiana, because you're not flying in a plane with Paul Maneri and the Thunderbirds. Why not? That would be a great opportunity. That would be great. But Coach Maneri will be in Lake Charles on Friday. We're going to head over west. And, west, not north. Exactly. West. He's going to fly in a U.S. Air Force Thunderbird. Of course, Coach was the former coach at the Air Force Academy. In fact, 23 of his former baseball players are United States Air Force pilots, so he
Okay.
gets to experience what they experience.
Is he nervous?
I think he's a little nervous,
Little nervous?
but he's very excited, so that'll be cool.
Tell him, hold off on the breakfast.
Yeah.
No breakfast, all right, before he goes and does
We'll have full coverage on LSUsports.net, so you can check out a video of Coach Maneri and the Thunderbird.
Wow, there you go. Where else do you get such scintillating stuff? All right, LSU, Western Kentucky this Saturday. Good luck to the Tigers. Bill, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that puts the show together. We'll be back tomorrow, next week, same time, same station, for Tiger Tracks on CST.